More Norwegian Air flights could soon be coming to the United States, and U.S. airliners are not happy about it. On Friday, the Department of Transportation granted tentative approval to Norwegian for a foreign air carrier permit, something the airline has been trying to get for years. Norwegian is one of Europe's largest low-cost carriers. TravelPulse.com president and founder Mark Murphy is here to explain why this move is causing some concern. Hey, Mark, good to see you.
Yeah, you too, Vlad.
So explain the significance of this decision.
It's not that big a deal for the U.S. carriers. I don't understand why they're so crazy about it. Just the idea of competition, I think, frightens them because they haven't had to deal with a lot of competition, at least domestically.
See, this is so funny because we always say in America, we love competition.
Of course we do, unless it's against us.
Right. We don't want anything
deal.
going against us.
So here's the challenge. They're going to fly long-haul flights with cheap seats. So the legacy carriers who are getting good numbers, good fares on these long-haul flights are concerned that that's going to drive their pricing down. But I don't think they really have to worry that much because a lot of their money's made in the front of the plane, which isn't going to be affected by this move. So the legacy guys are going to be fine with the front of the plane. We're talking seats that are $7,000, $8,000, where a coach seat might be $700, $800. But what's going to happen is that back of the plane is going to feel it because you, as a traveler, are going to gravitate towards the cheapest flight.
Right.
And that's how they buy.
Why did they decide to do this now? The Department of Transportation.
Well, you've got open skies with Europe and the European Union. So the idea that we're going to block an airline from coming in when we have access not just to the destination, let's say London, but the ability to fly within Europe. So, and the European carriers can't do that today.
Right.
It would be, disingenuous to say we're not going to allow them in. They tried to make it about the safety of the aircraft because they're going to hire cheaper labor, et cetera, based on being based on in Dublin as an operating base. That's nonsense. They're going to have to live up to our standards in terms of safety, and it really was about the dollars and cents coming from the major carriers.
Could we see other European low-cost carriers following this model and pushing to come to the U.S.? Ryanair and
Ryanair filed to do it back in around 2007, and then they canceled it because it's very hard to make money on these longer haul flights. So that's going to be the challenge. But the way that they're going to do it is going to operate smaller aircraft. It's going to be single aisle aircraft, not these wide body aircraft. And it's all going to be about filling up those planes and going to secondary cities, which I think is a good thing for the travelers because a lot of secondary cities lost airline connections and airline flights that were nonstop. This is going to bring them back, which I think is going to help stimulate some of these places, especially from a commerce standpoint between Europe and the U.S. It could very well benefit those local markets, especially. That's why the airports like Providence and Pittsburgh, who've lost a lot of flights, they want this airline coming in.
How do you see U.S. carriers competing with Norwegian Air's cheaper flights? Are they going to lower their flights, or are they just going to keep them the same and focus on the business and first-class travel?
So I think they're always focused on taking care of that first-class and business-class customer. What they're going to do with the lower stuff is they're going to match on select routes and they're going to match on select days and flights because you're not going to see the frequency from Norwegian Air that American Airlines can deliver. So American's going to win out if you need frequency, but if you're a leisure traveler and you don't care about driving 2 or 3 hours to that extra airport and you don't care about not being able to fly back on Friday because you had to wait till Sunday for the flight, let's say, then you're going to be the flexible. They're going to lose that. They're going to lose that traveler. And keep in mind that 80% of the seats on most of these wide body legacy carriers here in the U.S. are coach seats, but they're very much a price-driven commodity. It's not about the service. It's really about, hey, it's a 6.5-hour flight. Just get me there and save me money.
That's what I'm all about too, Mark Murphy. If it's cheap, I'm on it.
Dude, you're one cheap dude.
Yeah, I am a cheap dude.
I love it. He looks good, though. He looks good.
Mark Murphy, always good to have you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.